Hello, fellow Grand Theft Auto enthusiast. I'm Mr. Horsington, and we're going to do a weekly thing on how you can turn your life around in GTA. You can go from not having enough money to buy a sprunk to basically owning a yacht or whatever you want, just throwing that cash around and making everybody jealous. It's not as hard as it might seem, but it definitely takes some dedication.
What?
Because by now, you've probably figured out that it's not super profitable to go around killing people and picking up about 25 bucks. Doesn't really work. So, a step up from robbing people is stealing these Lampadati Felon GT cars. If you can learn to recognize what these things look like, and you're located right by Los Santos, it's actually some pretty quick money.
What brings you in today?
Unfortunately, you can only sell one of these once every 48 minutes in real life time, but they will give you $9,500. However, the real reason I wanted to make these videos was to draw attention to Rockstar's weekly deals and discounts. This week, they are offering triple rewards in Overtime Rumble and King of the Hill. You'll get double rewards in cargo sales, and you'll be able to get $250,000 until September 23rd on the movie props that you can go to Solomon Richards and turn in. The podium car is worth over $1 million if you can be lucky enough to get that. Make sure you go to the casino and pick up your daily spin. Aside from that, there are some things every week that are on sale that are good to take advantage of if you're not brand new, or sometimes if you are. This week, you have hangars for 30% off, which if you ever want to own an airplane, this would be the time to buy a hangar. All of them, the LSIA, Fort Zancudo, are all 30% off, as well as the customizations and add-ons. Some of the vehicles that you can get are the Starling, which is a plane, Tula, that's also a plane. The Imponte Deluxa would be another good beginner car, except for it's still over $2.5 million when it's 35% off, so it's a little bit expensive to get your hands on. Then there's the Rune Zaba, there's the Albany Manana Custom, and the Gauntlet Classic Custom, that if you have been stacking a little bit of money, some of these things might be a good idea to buy right now. Let's go ahead and get back into the money making though, and we'll start with Overtime Rumble. You'll want to go into the Start menu to the Online tab, find Rockstar Created, and then you will cycle through the jobs. Find Adversary Mode, and scroll for about an hour. And any one of those that are 3x you can go into. Now, Overtime Rumble is the one where you go down the ramp, and then you hit the chute, and get taken out by your partner, hit the chute again, and then you're looking for the space that gives you 5 points, which in this case is the bullseye, the yellow marker. Now, it's maybe not the best strategy to always try to get there first. Because other people can hit you, including your own teammates. Fortunately, I was able to roll back over and get those 5 points, but that's pretty much the goal of the game, is to outscore the other team. If you do it successfully, you win, and in this case, I got $73,000. I decided to play this for probably about an hour, hour and a half, and I was able to take my brand new character from a level 1 to almost a level 10, as well as make $280,000. Making Overtime Rumble the #1 way that a new player can make money this week. It far surpasses King of the Hill, which if you want to do it is access the Start menu, hit Online, go to Jobs, Play Job, and Rockstar Created, scroll down to King of the Hill. These ones were also 3 times rewards this week, but when I played it, it definitely didn't seem to have the effect that Overtime Rumble did on my bank account. Basically what you do is you try to take over these circles here. This guy has the red one, and so basically you just get up there and you're gonna have to kill him because he's probably not gonna let you have it. But once you have the majority of the territories marked in your color, then you'll very quickly start to win. You can see in the bottom right, the blue bar is quite full. And that's basically what it takes to win King of the Hill. However, it was a little bit disappointing in the cash. It was nearly a whole magnitude less than what Overtime Rumble could offer. Aside from the 3x moneymakers, one of the things that I like to do each week is the races. There's an RC car race that's located right here at the construction site, and the land race is over at the pier. Now for the land race, you can use any vehicle in GTA Online, so I tried to make it in a stolen coquette, which didn't seem to work. Fortunately, if you hold the Y button, you can restart really quick. You can see the red meter in the bottom right. The vehicle that did seem to do the trick though is the Bati 801. Here's the location of the race you can pinpoint before you start this, but it's actually a really affordable bike. We'll talk about it after the race. This is what a winning run would look like. As you can see, the bike is nice for getting through the really tight squeezes. If you're not real fast, or maybe you're not super familiar with GTA yet, these races might not be the best way to try to spend your time to get money, because we've already discussed Overtime Rumble having a ridiculous turnaround for your minutes. But if you like racing, or you just like having a challenge, then this is something I like to accomplish every week. Aside from doing these just for fun because I'm a racing enthusiast, these races, both the land race and the RC car race, will pay you $101,000. Now, some weeks are a little bit harder than others, but there are easier weeks where you can come in and in 5 minutes you can make that $101,000. So if you're fast, $101,000 for just a couple minutes is pretty much the best way that you can make money on GTA. Unfortunately, you can only get that money for each race once a week. Racing can be kind of complicated and maybe take some time to develop the skill, but it's definitely doable. I make a little mistake right here, but for the most part, it's just cutting in and using the full space of the road. So outside, inside, outside. And for the purposes of GTA, you want to lean forward and backwards on the bikes to give you a little extra speed boost whenever you can do it. I managed to beat the par time by about 2 seconds, and that's all it takes, 101,000. So if you're a new player and you want a first vehicle, that one would be a great one to do. So you just go into San Andreas Super Autos, and the Pegasi Bati 801 is only $15,000. So you don't even need to wait for a discount on that because the bike is just super cheap. So next up is the RC car race. This is the RC Bandito, and it usually costs around $1.5 million, which isn't cheap. So if you're a new player, I wouldn't bother getting this, but if you've been around for a little while and you have some money, it wouldn't be a bad thing to get if it was on a discount. When they do go on sale, they're usually around $1 million, and they'll help you pull in that extra $100,000 a week, which is what you're looking for. This week's race is a little bit tricky with all of these scaffolding up ramps and down ramps. But if you can figure out how to get through these things without falling off, then you'll probably be in pretty good shape. Most of the race is pretty open, and it's kind of just a matter of figuring out where the big corners are, where you can go straight and keep your speed. But I think overall this race is probably a little bit more technical than the land race this week. So another thing that Rockstar offers is 2 times rewards on all air freight. which to me is not even worth it. I won't even cover it because it's just a waste of time. But if you're looking to buy a hangar, this might be a sale that you're looking for, because you can see it's 1.2 million and drops to 840,000 at the LSIA in the middle hangar here. This other one right here is on sale for just over $1 million from $1.5 million. Aside from being able to store an airplane that's not a Pegasus airplane, these buildings give you an opportunity to run missions, which gives you a little bit of cash. But just to reiterate, it is not worth it even when it's 2x. The main reason you should pay attention to this sale is if you want an airplane like the B-11 that isn't a Pegasus vehicle. Essentially, the purpose of this channel is to buy low and sell high. Buy low, sell high. And you'll eventually get out of that rut where you can't afford to buy a single sprunk. It's hard to know exactly what things you should buy and when you should buy them, but if you watch this enough, maybe it will start making sense. Another example of what to buy on the cheap this week is the Ocelot Swinger, Overflood Tyrant, which is an awful car in my opinion. The Karen 190Z, we got Lampadati, something, Silvestra, Debauchee Rapid GT, the Terreo, the Pegassi Infernus Classic. I like some of those cars. Mamba's one of my favorites. Right next to the Progen T20, which happens to probably be in my top 3 favorite cars. It's fast, it accelerates hard, and this week it's marked down from over $2 million. It's only $440,000. So if that was something that you wanted to do, was to get a really fast car, this is one that will definitely not disappoint you. However, you have to be a Twitch Prime member, which is linked through your Amazon Prime account, which I will say is a really good thing to link up if you have Amazon Prime already. Otherwise, I'm not going to say that spending money every week to get some GTA deals is the best or worst thing for you, but Amazon Prime/Twitch Prime will hook you up. So aside from the car deals, you can get up to $1 million each month if you have your Twitch Prime account linked to your Rockstar Social, which without a doubt will help you along to maybe your goals. I mean, we all want to have a bunch of money on GTA Online, but it's not super easy. So if you're able to stack up a bunch of cash from Overtime Rumble this week, here are a few things that you might want to consider, but I wouldn't necessarily pull the trigger just yet. Here we have a clubhouse for your motorcycle crew, and they're all the same, and you're only going to use these things to buy businesses. So the first one that you should probably be looking at is the Great Whatever. It's 200,000, and it will be a great move to get into one of the businesses. One of my favorite businesses to own is the Counterfeit Cash Factory that's in Blaine County in the Grand Sonora Desert. Now, a lot of these good businesses are located in that same area, one of which is the meth lab. This will set you back $910,000, but in the long run, that pretty much costs the same as the Cash Factory, and it's a more profiting business. Another great buy is going to be the cocaine lockup that's near the Alamo Sea. Once again, it's a little expensive, but not by much in the long run, because you're going to eventually be able to go into your arcade and pick up a master control terminal that will allow you to just buy supplies all from one area like this. You have everything here in this centralized terminal where you just come in and you buy supplies, and then when things are full, you just sell them, and that's all there is to it. Based on which businesses you own, these bars will fill up, and every couple days you'll get a good amount of supply that you can sell. Right now I'm sitting on $640,000, and I didn't do anything at all. Basically, I'm all about passive investing, and the less work that I have to do in GTA to get money, the better. And so that's what I'm going to teach you how to do. You're going to buy low, you're going to sell high. That's pretty much all there is to it. See you next week.